It's actually a kind of funny story. This house right here, a few days into it, there was a big, you can kind of still see it, that power line
Yeah.
was hanging out over to the road, and we were already trying to organize water trucks to come down
Yeah.
because there's, of course, no running water at this point. And so, me and a few people I work with, we borrowed these huge bolt cutters from him to break up all the support cables that hold up all the electrical, because it was all just crossed all over the road and there's no way any trucks are going to be able to make it through. So
Yeah.
one of the first things we spent a couple of days doing was just clearing the roads so that there was a chance for vehicles to actually just come down, and water trucks to at some point be doing water deliveries, which we only started getting 3-4 days ago.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, this so the road we're driving down now, this is Great Bay Road, and everything down here is considered Great Bay, and Great Bay is a little village within Treasure Beach, and we've got about 250 homes here. And from the sounds of it, about half of those properties lost their roofs to at least some degree. I mean, either total destruction like that one, or just a few sheets peeled off here and there. And some people have already went out of their way to do a lot of repairs in a pretty short amount of time.
yeah. Wow. 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 So, to let everyone know who we're speaking to, you're Mike.
Yeah, my name's Mike Ljubsa. I'm one of the owners of a retreat business down here called Myco Meditations. And we actually do magic mushroom therapeutic retreats down here for a few years. So, and yeah, my company has spearheaded a lot of the donations so far that's doing the recovery in Great Bay.
How much donations have you gotten so far in general?
Yeah, we've already got close to $150,000 in US
Wow.
dollars,
That's
yeah, in a
awesome.
very short amount of time from very generous donors that have come to our retreats over the years. So that money's already been going towards care packages consisting of food, water, baby products, feminine hygiene products, and the big thing we're really coordinating is trying to get the roofs repaired and trying to get as many roofs back on as possible with that money.
Wow. That's so it's mostly like customers, past guests.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And I mean, I find it's kind of wild just driving here right now, just how quickly nature bounces back, because the leaves have already returned. But right after Hurricane Beryl, all of these lignum vites and other trees just were completely bare. Like you really knew something had passed through, but you already kind of see the how green it is down here, slowly returning. But
So-
yeah, this is where it starts as we get down the hill, where a lot more of the bigger damage started to hit people, unfortunately.
So were you here when the hurricane came?
Yeah, I was here at a place a few hundred meters down the road here, and it's at first from about 2 o'clock to about 5, I kind of just thought this was another tropical storm that we've been through before, and sure, some trees might come down and a few panels of the fencing might come down, but when 5 o'clock hit, that's when I knew this was no regular tropical storm, and I couldn't even see out the window anymore. The rains were so aggressive on the glass, and the noise in my house was just crazy. So at that point, I actually just went into my bedroom to ride it out, and I was just watching some movies on my laptop, but eventually I couldn't hear anything on there. And it started to get really bad, and I had people board up my windows, and they started to buckle. So like my window slats were actually trying to swing out open forwards, and I could actually see the wind was so strong that I could actually see the ground in between my windowsill and the bottom of the slat. So I had to hold it with my own hands at one point in fear that my windows were going to rip right out of my bedroom. And so at some point while that was happening, I hear all this commotion in my living room, and I open my bedroom door and I look out, and my windows had completely ripped out of the building, and the front door was missing. It had just flung from the front of my house through the whole house and ended up in the backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, taking a huge chunk of my wooden island in the kitchen. If I was in that room, it could have been, if I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, I could have been killed.
Yeah.
With the way that door flew.
But a good thing you went to watch movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And, but yeah, this is where you can really get a view of some of the devastation that hit us here. I mean, that house has made some good progress over there. That's a sweet old lady, that red one with the big field around it. That's where a sweet lady named Miss Frida lives. And she's a 86-year-old woman who's grew up here but went off to live in the UK for a bunch of years and came back here. And the first few days, her house was just totally flooded. Had to throw out all the furniture. Me and some colleagues of mine were mopping up the mess and helping her move heavy furniture, just because, you know, that's what a lot of this is. It's a lot of older people without the family to take care of them here, and basically just left with their house torn apart and trying to, you know, everyone's trying to pitch in to fix it, but there's sometimes so many hands to go around only, and so everything's very slow around here. And if it weren't for a few Starlinks that we happen to have at all of our housing here for our team that comes to do our retreats, like there aren't many people who'd even have internet right now, but what we've been doing is generators have been starting to show up here either through donation or purchase. We've been just lending them our Starlinks, so at least a few people have some internet down here.
Oh, okay. So I can connect. So the internet actually working Starlink.
Slowly, there's a few people who have internet. I mean, this corner right here is ran by a guy named Goldman. He's actually right there. And this used to be a little popular jerk stand called Sea Crab. And it was just a little corner spot where a bunch of the guys would always come and hang out in the evenings. And that's what's left over of Sea Crab. And there's Goldman putting it back together. So we just put up a Starlink on his roof a couple of days ago, so that the guys that are usually coming around here at least have a way to connect and talk. And
yeah, nice. Outside. So no, I know you can have crab here, like in the future.
It's a very misleading name. It's called Sea Crab, but they only sell chicken.
Interesting. Well, now we can come here and eat chicken. I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know of this area. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's tucked away, right? I mean, you go down that one road you mentioned, you go to all the other bays in Treasure Beach, but this one is off in its own corner, and it's often seen as the forgotten part of Treasure Beach just because of that very reason.
Yeah. So do you know the knowledge on the different bays? Because it's kind of confusing to me. I just call everything Treasure Beach.
I might get my order wrong, and I'm definitely going to miss them eventually, but if you're going east to west here in Treasure Beach, you've got Great Bay, and then you've got Calabash Bay, then you've got Billy's Bay, and then I think you have Frenchman's Bay after that, and a few more that I don't think I know the name of off the top of my head.
But in general, all those bays combine to say Treasure Beach in general?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like the coastal Treasure Beach, and then you've got more areas up on the hill here, which are also considered Treasure Beach. So this is my house. This is where I was staying, yeah. And up until about a few days ago, the front door would have just been splayed out on the lawn. But you can see if you were to drive back.
Could you get a tour in here, or is that possible to get
Yeah,
a tour?
we could do a tour. If you just kind of get off onto the side of the road here, you would be okay. There's rarely two cars passing at the same time. If you're half your car's in the road, it won't be an issue.
Okay. Park along here. Whoa. So you're not staying there right now?
Oh, no. Because so they couldn't really do anything about it because they were waiting for the insurance people to come and take a look at the property for the claim and everything, and they took forever to get out, so they couldn't really fix up the place either for a little while.
Yeah, this look like a house that is abandoned.
Yeah, and if you go inside, it'll really look that way too, and I mean, it's since there's no fences, you're kind of seeing it at a time where there's not a dozen plus goats in the yard. But every time I've been driving past this road for the last 2 weeks, there's just goats eating everything here. It's actually why the grass is so short right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember on the first day when I was here cleaning up, there was that concrete power line was crossed out onto the road, so people couldn't even drive around it. So motorcycles were just coming onto the lawn and using these boards to basically get around the posts.
Oh. So the part where you said the window, I'm curious to see that one. Can we go inside?
Yeah.
You're not having any memories, right? Like, are you traumatized by all this?
I wouldn't say so right now. I mean, I have felt at times it's been hard to really know what I'm feeling with it. It was definitely a first time in my life experiencing anything close to this. And during the hurricane, I definitely felt absolute fear at one point. So there was a point where, like I mentioned, I had to hold on to my window to keep it shut. And I'd known that the living room here was falling apart and I didn't know what was going to happen to my bedroom. So I went in to sit in my bedroom closet with my dog, and I was there for about 2 hours just crossing my fingers that the same thing that happened to my living room and kitchen wasn't going to be happening to my bedroom. So at that point, when the wind was still roaring around me, that's where I was really thinking like, holy shit, this thing's no joke. But yeah, this was my place. And after the hurricane, this was just pure water, glass everywhere. Everything that was on the shelves came down onto the ground. I had to squeegee the whole thing for hours because thousands of shards of glass were all over the place.
That's the window that
Yeah.
bursted out?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
go inside and record?
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, very nice house.
So this is actually...
It's a rental. It's a rental, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, wow.
But yeah, those windows were both ripped off. I think they must have put that left side back on. But yeah, I was in my bedroom. I opened the door, and when I saw that was just gone, that's where I just assumed this whole room's a write-off. And I just closed the door and didn't even look back out for the rest of the night. Until it was dark, where it was past 9 o'clock is where the wind started to finally subside, and just in blackness, I'm coming around here, and this couch was up against this wall, flipped upside down. That table had flipped onto the other side of the room. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff in the corners here, just everything that was on my shelves or in the cabinets just was on the ground, broken up, and yeah, the doors were flung open, and that door, like I said, was in the back patio.
Nature. And it's still, look like it's still, oh, it's drying up.
Yeah, it's definitely drying up. You know, in hindsight, there's maybe a chance we would have been able to save it if we would have dug this up enough and managed to flip it, although this is a big tree. I mean, at Blue Marlin, we've been doing that same thing with some of the smaller trees, is turning them back up, digging out the hole underneath and then reburying the roots and just kind of tying them off and hoping that the tree will take hold and survive. I mean, the part that I'm feeling, because I mean, of course, it's so impoverished in Jamaica. It takes forever for people to really fix these sorts of things, right? So you got that, and then nature itself takes years and years to return to the same kind of beauty it had before. I mean, big trees that have just been around probably for generations were torn down by this thing. So there's already a few. I like to run. I like to stay fit, so I run this road and around Treasure Beach a lot, and I've already noticed like it's big trees that would always really catch my eye over all these years are gone now.
Yeah.
And it's tragic.
Yeah, it's like I went to tour Jake's hotel. They gave me.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the tree. One thing is different about it is like when it's all started up again, the trees.
Yeah. Yeah. Jake's really had it bad. Yeah, this is where our retreat has an office. We've had to put tarps over the roof. Yeah, we had the roof over the living room torn right off. This was a church.
All the way to the beach.
Yeah, this will go all the way to the beach, to the end of it. Yeah, this area in particular, when you really get down into here, it's probably what got the worst of it in all of Great Bay.
So in terms of like other donations, have you seen like? Oh, the beach is nice. Still
Yeah.
get back to there.
Yeah.
In terms of like donations or help outside of you guys doing donations, have you seen any help? Have you heard of anything happening?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's the thing that we have going for us is that Hurricane Beryl didn't really devastate all of Jamaica, right? Because of course you have limited resources to fix anything that goes wrong. So if the whole island was really impacted, they'd be going to Ocho Rios, Mo Bay, Negril, where all the tourism is coming, right? So we wouldn't have made any progress in terms of getting. At least we still don't have power almost 3 weeks later, but at least JPS has come and they already have the posts up and ready to wire everything. And there have been, I think the water trucks from the ones we haven't privately funded ourselves, I think 1 or 2 of those have also arrived. But we can kind of be thankful that not too many parts of Jamaica were really hit hard by this thing, because at least it's allowing the country to put the resources it does have to repair things here a little bit more quickly, versus as I've heard from people about Hurricane Gilbert, that was the very issue. That was the entire island, and so took months for things to return to normal down here in these quiet rural areas.
So there's even though, because I'm looking and the further you're going, you see.
Yeah, there's a lot of houses when you get down into this part of Great Bay. So this is the spot that had the worst of it.
Yeah, definitely have to plan with June when we're here to get our overall.
I mean, a lot of people have just, for the time being, abandoned their homes and have been living elsewhere while they figure out how to fix the roofs, get some security back over their buildings.
So right now you guys are really lacking light.
Yeah, right now if you don't have, like the other night I was coming back, driving quite late, and I've just, I kind of played a game where I shut my lights off in the blackness as I'm driving on a straight road, and in that split second, it's like you can't see anything around you. There's nothing, there's no light off in the distance or anything, just the headlight I have is the only thing that's a light source.
I can't believe that back in the days in Jamaica that was a normal thing.
Yeah.
I hope you guys get light. I mean, I think they're saying, I heard some news saying like it's next week.
It's sounding like the end of next week is what some most estimates are saying now. So, because as we would have drove down this road, we would have seen new posts for the power lines already installed. And the corner here is the only little grocery store for Great Bay. It's ran by a guy named Hewlett, and he has no roof at all. So that's one of the places we're really trying to get back on its feet as well, just so people at least have somewhere to go and get a few odds and ends. Yeah.
Oh, right here? Whoa.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's closed up on
Fishing
us.
village right there.
This was just a little kind of shaded kind of hangout area. Yeah, that's down and out.
I'm definitely gonna check out the beach when I'm done.
It's a beautiful beach.
I didn't know.
It's a public beach too, and it's very rarely busy, and I go play fetch with my dog here all the time. I love it. It's a great beach. Favorite part of living here for sure is being so close to this beach.
Never been here before. Never.
Yeah, and you can swim in it too. I mean, the other bays in Treasure Beach, there's a lot of riptides, but this is actually like a solid swimming beach.
Oh. That's a part of your fitness. You go out and swim.
Yeah.
So you take part in the recent Treasure Beach marathon?
I did not actually compete in that one. Yeah. Someday.
I figure if you take part, it'd be easy for you and everybody.
It's funny, actually, there was a 5K run that I signed up for maybe in last October. And basically, I show up there and it's a bunch of high school kids. And so at first I thought I'd go in there and I might have a chance to compete in this thing. I just kind of figured it was all sorts of adults of different ages, and it's like high school athletes all around. And I think I came in 29th, and everyone, I think I was first in the age group of 20 to 29, but I was beaten by like 30 teenagers. It was quite funny.